So you love the idea of everyday carry, but you don't like the bulk of toting around full-size EDC tools. We totally get it, and we have you covered. So today we're looking at some of the best tiny, or small, or pint-sized, you could also even say ultra-compact, but we think you get the idea, everyday carry essentials, in an attempt to streamline your daily carry needs. We've gone through and compiled a thorough list of everything from pens to knives to watches and more to equip you with whatever you may need, and doing so with the smallest overall footprint available. So without anything further, let's get right to it with our first tiny EDC essential from Flytitanium with a mini bolt action pen. Tiny EDC or small EDC or whatever adjective you like to describe something far more pint-sized than their regular counterparts are great items to live on a keychain, like our first pick from Flytitanium. Their titanium mini bolt action pen is just 3.23 inches long, weighs just 0.15 ounces, and sports a loop at the end serving as an attachment point. The TC4 grade titanium bolt action pen deploys with this arm and its J-shaped track, uses a mini D1 ballpoint cartridge, and comes with extra refills and rings in case of loss. Also, if you're not familiar with the brand as a whole, they make stellar aftermarket scales for some of the EDC space's most iconic knives, so go check them out. You may have noticed that Zippos don't natively offer up any attachment points, so you'll have to keep the lighter tucked away in a pocket. However, Maratac offers one of the smallest portable lighters around and builds it with a cap design that allows you to do what the Zippo can't. At just 1.3 inches in height and half an inch in width, the split pea size second generation Maratac titanium lighter is one of the smallest flint wheel lighters around, is built from premium 6AL4V titanium and an O-ring to give the cap some extra water protection just below the threads, and some neat laser etched details of a trident at its base. This tiny Maratac lighter is offered up by Countycom, who designs, manufactures, and sells EDC products to federal, state, and local government agencies, but offer any excess on their website for the private sector. Go check out the rest of their offerings as they stock some really awesome gear you'll have a hard time finding anywhere else. Speaking of keychains, are you someone who likes to fidget or maybe needs to fidget? How about a fan of retro Nintendo systems? Well, then if you answered yes to any or all of the above, the Tinycircuits THUMBY will be right up your alley. This is the tiniest usable game system ever created at just 1.2 inches in height and 0.7 inches in width, comes with 5 preloaded games played via the 4-way D-pad and 2 action buttons, and features a 72x40 pixel OLED display. The THUMBY is powered off a Raspberry Pi Pico RP2040 processor and builds in 2 MB of internal storage, which is reserved for onboarding any additional games besides the defaults. On a full charge, we did experience just a touch less than the 2-hour gameplay they said was possible by way of the 40 mAh battery inside, but the charging process is a pretty simple affair with a standard micro USB port. If you're anything like us, you can probably think back to a time where it would have been incredibly handy to have a towel on your person during travel. It's kind of a I'll never know when I need it piece of EDC, but Matador has made it easy to come prepared with the NanoDry Trek Towel, a highly portable, extremely hydrophilic nanofiber 15-inch by 15-inch quick-drying towel. Truth be told, this probably won't be your most utilized piece of EDC, but Matador makes it easy to keep on your person with an included silicone travel case you can easily clip onto a carabiner or a keychain, or just as well throw into the bottom of your pack. It comes with small holes for ventilation as well, so if you pack the towel away wet, there's a good chance it could dry on the go and be ready for the next use. As a side note before moving on, this is the 15 by 15 inch towel and is their smallest size, and have a few more large sizes available if you're looking for something more substantial. Fitting easily in the pocket of a pair of double knee work trousers or a shirt jacket pocket, the all-black Knipex 4-inch Cobra pliers are a great substitution for those who want the ability to carry a pair of pliers, don't want to be weighed down by a heavy multi-tool, or can't manage to carry a full-size pair of pliers anywhere on their person. There's a big emphasis here on little. These are 4-inch pliers, and we're holding them in hand here to show you just how small these Cobras are. They're also incredibly thin at 3/8 of an inch, which also makes them prime for EDC. And the handles use serrated grip points on the exterior to maximize their utility, despite the extra small stature. The jaws expand up to 1 inch with 11 steps in between, have plenty of grip, and are brushed to reveal the metal underneath. These pliers are also atraumatized. In layman's terms, that's a phosphating process for rust prevention, which in this case ended with a coating in a matte lacquer, giving the pliers its all-black color. Tech Accessories started back in 2004 with the aim of creating functional EDC for all of life's daily tasks, in highly attractive form factors. One of our pint-sized favorites from the brand, among many, is the Ti-Tape retractable tape measure. As the name suggests, this uber-small tape measure, roughly the size of a US quarter, is built from premium grade 5 titanium and weighs in at just 0.74 ounces in hand. But despite its tiny build, it packs in up to 3 feet of spring steel measuring capability with meter markers, feet markers, inches, centimeters, and millimeters. Leatherman is the king of full-size multi-tools. Pretty much everyone is well aware of that fact by now. But their catalog isn't limited to full-size gear, and they have a few great pint-sized options. Our favorite purpose-built mini keychain multi-tool is the Leatherman Micra. At 2.5 inches with a solid 420HC stainless steel build, the Micra is a no-frills choice, but that's really what defines most of Leatherman's catalog anyways. There's not much in the way of show, but each one of them ship with purpose-built utility and extremely reliable builds. Here's what the Micra offers: a 420HC knife, spring-assisted scissors, a flat and Phillips head screwdriver, a 4.7-inch ruler, a nail cleaner, tweezers, a bottle opener, a nail file, a medium screwdriver, and an extra small screwdriver. Now, if you weren't counting, that's about 10 total tools. One of the best parts of any multi-tool, let's be honest, are the tiny scissors. Now, not all are created equal. In our opinion, the Micra has some of the best scissors built into where the pliers are normally found on any other multi-tool once you open it up. This positioning provides a lot more torque and a lot more grip. The tweezers are also built in as a tool just like any other tool, so unlike the ones from Victorinox that will almost always go missing eventually, these guys will stick around. USB-C is becoming the norm. Portable chargers, charging cables, and laptop ports, on Apple devices at least, all use them, so it's now incredibly handy to have some sort of charging adapter on your person to grab whenever it's needed. The Nomad Chargekey is marketed as one of the best portable charging solutions for the modern explorer. If you find yourself hopping from the office to the coffee shop to the gym and back again the next day, holstering this USB-C to USB-C keychain on your person may be an excellent idea. What you see is what you get with the highly compact Chargekey, but every component is constructed with care and intention, from the electroplated zinc cable housings to the braided nylon cable itself. Plus, the housings secure to each other magnetically in order to mitigate damage when in travel, to prevent them from hitting against each other while on the go. And on the 180, a simple loop allows you to attach an O-ring for keys or any other tiny EDC accessories. Oregon-based Gerber offers up a laundry list of capable EDC and are well known for their knives and outdoor gear, but they also manufacture a handful of uber compact or mini or tiny EDC tools like our next pick, the Gerber GDC Zip Blade. The tiny blade's use case is pretty straightforward and versatile. I mean, you can use it for pretty much any small task that you need. Box cutting, letter opening, the list is endless, but what's not so apparent without showing you how it works is the zip pull integration. In other words, the Gerber GDC is in itself a zip pull. Check it out. On the opposite end of the 0.68-inch plain edge blade is a loop to attach this guy onto a zipper, and it could be any zipper as well. A backpack zipper, a sling zipper, a jacket zipper. Again, the list is endless. At the base of this loop is a quick release clip, so the GDC doesn't have to live on the zipper while in use, which would obviously limit its utility. We think for the $15 price point currently, the frame lock is a nice touch, and it aids in keeping the GDC quite compact. It's notably aggressive also with a really deep angle, and it feels quite strong for its size. And in terms of styling, the gray and green also matches Gerber's other GDC or Gerber daily carry products, like the Gerber Money Clip, so we'd suggest checking out the line as a whole if you're a fan of the zip blade styling. Been looking around for a flask, but could use something that doesn't quite scream flask? Well, hey, we've got exactly what you need. Well, technically Memobottle does, not us, but let us make the introduction for you. The Memobottle A7 is an 8-ounce portable drinking vessel, not technically marketed as a flask per se, but it's made from food-grade 304 stainless steel, and it comes fully coated in a satin powder-coated black finish, and can hold any hot or cold drink of your choosing. It features a 1-inch threaded cap that makes the actual drinking experience and cleaning experience very straightforward, and the width here really flies in the face of traditional flasks, even though again, Memobottle doesn't technically categorize the A7 as such. If you're not familiar with the brand, they've essentially asked, why do water bottles need to be round? Wouldn't it be easier to fit a squared-off vessel with your other squared-off EDC like books, laptops, or tablets? And that's exactly what they've done. They've made water bottles rectangular, and the naming conventions, A5, A6, A7, etc., are named after standard paper sizes. Compact, tiny, EDC-friendly knives are a dime a dozen nowadays. You have buckets of options at your fingertips from pretty much every knife maker that offers your full-size favorites. But if you're looking for a highly compact knife steeped in history with an extremely unique blade steel, look to the Higonokami folding knife, whose 3.5-inch size provides just that. This timeless, extremely beautiful creation is handmade in Japan and uses Japanese-made blue paper steel. manufactured by Hitachi Metals. It's an extremely high carbon composition, which then sees some tungsten and chromium added to even further increase its corrosion resistance and even beefs up the hardness factor. And the brass handle is just rugged and undeniably beautiful, featuring Japanese engraving on the exterior, a few grip notches toward the bottom of the handle, and a convenient lanyard punch-out for securing it onto your person in one form or fashion. And before we move on, since this small folding knife doesn't have a locking system as it's a friction folder, you'll need to keep your thumb planted firmly on the tab when using the blade to make sure it doesn't snap down on your fingers. Okay, now tiny is subjective, as are most adjectives. There are different levels of tiny, whether you're talking about pens, knives, flashlights, etc. When it comes to men's watches, small or tiny generally means a case size sub 34 to 35 millimeters. If you've been looking for a watch smaller than the norm, look to vintage-inspired watches or reissues. On a budget, one of our favorite compact wristwatches comes from Casio, who have been reviving a laundry list of vintage models like this one, the AQ-800E-7A. At 30mm in diameter and 40mm lug-to-lug with a svelte 8mm thickness, it wears much like a large tank-style watch on the wrist. The layout of its stacked analog-digital interface is a ton of fun, and more or less allows you to wear the watch in a wide variety of settings, definitely more so than just a fully digital Casio ever would. You can use the pushers on the case's left side to adjust the time as you would normally on any digital Casio watch, and then, with something like the tip of a pen, the analog hands are adjustable with this small right-aligned button. If you hold this button down, the minute hand rotates smoothly for macro adjustments, and then micro adjustments minute by minute can be made with repeated single presses until you achieve your desired time. The quartz caliber, as the dial suggests, keeps the full stainless steel watch running without any fuss or maintenance other than the occasional battery swap, providing power to both the analog hands and the digital screen under the mineral crystal. We love the single-link, almost integrated form of the stainless steel bracelet, which uses a highly adjustable folding clasp to dial in the perfect fit on the fly even without any tools. If incredibly small, compact, or tiny EDC is what you're after and are looking for a flashlight in this form factor, you'll be hard-pressed to find a better match than the Olight iMini. At just 1.38 inches, this pinky-sized 10-lumen keychain flashlight is perfect to get you out of a small bind, for any small tasks, to discreetly read a menu in a particularly dark restaurant. I mean, the options here are endless, but the iMini is great for any and all of the above. 3 LR41 button cells provide the necessary power for the single SMD LED that's focused with a PC lens, although we'd say focused lightly as it has a fairly wide throw for its size. The iMini has a keychain adapter and cap as well. You can pull the main aluminum body out of the cap and use the magnetic base to attach the iMini mini light to any metallic surface for hands-free use. And since we're on that point, this is actually how you turn the flashlight on, by detaching the flashlight from the cap, much like we've seen with the Beta QR from Prometheus lights. In all honesty, other than a dedicated full-size pill case, there's no great way to discreetly keep prescriptions or vitamins on your person day to day. That is, unless you carry a keychain capsule, and one of our favorite options comes from Brooklyn-based Craighill, who make the Craighill Key Capsule, a highly compact, blacked-out keychain aluminum vessel for holding pills, vitamins, after-dinner mints, or even a few tightly folded or rolled bills for emergencies or EDC. As you can see, we were able to fit about 4 standard-size pain relievers, but this will of course vary based on the size of the pills or vitamins or whatever you decide to use it for. The key capsule is a simple 2-part design with a black anodized exterior, a body, and a precisely machined threaded cap that secures with a snug fit. We did notice that the cap uses a silicone or rubber O-ring to bolster its water resistance, so we'd be extremely confident that with the overall precise fit of the cap's machining, the key capsule maintains a fairly high IP rating, although nothing official is disclosed from Craighill directly. Our next tiny EDC essential can really thank GoPro for paving the way. Their compact, highly portable, adventure-ready video cameras still continue to impress, but there are now, of course, many other options that you can choose from. Currently, we consider Insta360 to be one of the best GoPro competitors, and they offer up the Go 3, marketed as the world's smallest action camera at just 1.2 ounces in hand, featuring a 170-minute battery capacity with the included charging action pod, an IPX8 waterproof rating, crazy in-camera image stabilization for the 2.7K sensor, a flippable touchscreen, quick USB-C charging, and a whole slew of other programmable features, like voice control to start and stop recording, for example. We loved just how responsive the touchscreen felt. There was virtually no latency when toggling the camera's many functions, and the system even provides a substantial degree of haptic feedback as well when doing so. One of the other main draws of the Insta360 Go 3 is the camera's magnetic infrastructure that makes it pretty seamless to attach the camera to a slew of mounting options that Insta360 offers up for the system. That allows you to mount the camera virtually anywhere after disengaging the camera portion from its charger by pressing the unlock button on the action pack and pulling the pill-shaped device outward. One of our favorites is this magnetic necklace mount, whose magnets are strong enough to allow you to tuck the magnetic necklace adapter behind a t-shirt or jacket like we've done here for hands-free first-person POV shooting. We were impressed by just how strong these magnets were, even with a thick layer of fabric in between them. And as a quick note before moving on to our next tiny EDC essential, yes, the camera section is IPX8 rated, but the action pod / the charger is only IPX4 rated, so definitely don't submerge the parrot when charging the system. Tiny doesn't inherently imply sacrificing a hardwiring build, as is the case with WESN's QR. With a full titanium construction, this tiny quick-release keychain packs a punch for its hyper-compact size, and is the perfect small go-between unit in the middle of your keys and your carabiner or whatever keychain that you choose. Dimensionally, we're talking 1.6 inches from tip to tip, a width just north of ½ inch, and 0.5 ounces in total weight. What we like most other than its compact build is its simple, extremely well-machined two-part approach. Press on the groove machining in the center and pull out to disengage the two parts, and it's as simple as that to take your keys off your keychain for use in less than a second. By the way, if you're in the market for a keychain and a quick-release combo, go check out WESN's CB carabiner as well. It's a full titanium single-piece billet design that will also no doubt last a lifetime, and we think they look pretty damn good paired up together. EDC means different things to everyone, as it very well should, so our last tiny EDC essential won't be for everyone. But hey, if you find yourself in the outdoors regularly and want to carry something a bit more novel than a knife, want to carry something in addition to a pocket knife for splitting some kindling for starting fires, or any sort of carving or whittling, the Silver Fox Tools Jack Axe is what you should consider. The 4.5-inch Jack Axe is a handmade labor of love, forged from high-carbon BS 4659 tool steel that will sharpen up great time and time again. The blade is about 5mm thick, which as we said makes it a great candidate for splitting kindling for camping or bushcraft survival, as you can certainly use a tool, mallet, or piece of wood to strike the axe's spine for splitting up wood. And the attention to detail extends to the hand-stitched leather sheath, which builds in a belt loop, making it incredibly convenient to keep the Jack Axe on person. Plus, come on, the name here is pretty funny, or is it just a nod to The Shining? What do you think? And that brings us to the end of our guide of the best tiny, hyper-compact, everyday carry essentials. There are, of course, a litany of other fantastic pint-sized EDC options on the market, and we always love to hear from you about your favorites. So drop us a line below with your own top picks.